All right, we are back live. This is your Bolo Punch Boxing Hour. On the phone right now, I've got the future heavyweight champion of the world. I've got Fast Eddie Chambers, who just made quite a meal out of Big Sam Peter on Friday Night Fights this past Friday. Eddie Chambers, how you doing tonight, man?
Good. How are you guys?
Oh, we're doing great, man. We're doing great. So, take us through the beginning. Take us through, when did you find out that you were going to get Sam Peter? Tell us when you found out that you were even going to get this fight.
When I was going to get the fight, actually, it was probably a good month, a little more, about a month and a half before the fight actually took place. About 6 to 7 weeks, about 6 to 7 weeks out, and I felt it was a great opportunity. And I just got to thank Dan and Big Ralph for getting the opportunity to get in there with a former champion.
Absolutely, a former heavyweight champion of the world, definitely a title holder, and this puts Eddie Chambers right there in the mix. I mean, we're going to see you in there with a Klitschko or a Valuev in the next year and a half, thanks to this win. I mean, what do you think about that, man?
Oh, that sounds great to me. I mean, it's a long time coming. I get the opportunity to show that I'm not only just a good fighter in this era, but possibly a great fighter. I mean, to get a shot like this, I'm definitely not going to leave empty-handed. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to work my butt off to get prepared. Even from now, I'm talking about this hour. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's mentally and physically, also prepared to take on a world champion, a current world champion, in either Valuev or Vitaly Klitschko.
I've got to ask, man. I mean, Sam Peter is known for that legendary power in both hands. What was your strategy to stay away from it? And second part to the question, did he ever hurt you?
No, he never hurt me. I mean, he was strong. You could kind of feel he was strong, but I felt I was stronger, just like I do in every other fight I fought. You hear about how legendary these guys can punch and how big a puncher these guys are. When you finally get in the ring with them, man, it's just like anything else. You're just like the last guy. You're just like the last big punching guy that you fought, that you beat. You know what I'm saying? I believe that now, that fight, not only, I had confidence. I had the confidence from the beginning that I'm, a possible future world champion. Now I'm almost certain of it. You know what I mean? I can get in there with anybody. I'm just as tough, just as strong, just as mentally tough as anyone else out there. And I think that fight showed it. You know what I mean? He was such a great puncher, such a big puncher. But I believe I went out there and I showed that not only could I take his punch, but I could give a big punch as well.
Now, what have you added to your arsenal since the Areola fight coming into the Sam Peter fight? They were actually talking a little bit about some of the things that you've been trying to work on to advance yourself in the career here. They said that actually about a week after that Areola fight, if you had fought him again, you would have had a better chance of beating him.
Oh, you mean Povetkin?
Povetkin. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's all right. No problem. Yeah. Oh no, there's no question. As a matter of fact, if it was the next day, or barring all the soreness and everything, you know what I mean? If it was the next day after the fight that we had, I would have had just as easy a shot at beating him as I did the night up. It's just that when you get in there and you lose focus, and that's exactly what happened. You lose focus when everything goes down the drain. Conditioning, your mental attitude toward the fight, just all goes down the drain. And that's really what happened in that fight with the second. But not to take anything away from what he did. He fought an excellent fight. He did what he could, and he ended up walking away with the victory.
Hey, Eddie, I got to congratulate you and take my hat off to you. That was an awesomely seamless switch between conventional and southpaw. It was just the most awesome thing I've ever seen in my life, just to watch you to switch so subtly, to where the only reason that I knew you'd switched is when the announcers went, "Oh, look, he's fighting southpaw now," because it was just awesome.
Yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you enjoyed the skill of the game. It's not a lot of people, that actually get out there. I'm not going to say there's not a lot of people. There are a lot of people. There are actual boxing fans out there, don't get me wrong, but to actually notice the skill and what it takes to do things like that, it's refreshing to find out that there's some guys out there that really did something like that.
Oh, no, you know what I love to watch? I'm just a big fat guy that drinks beer and smokes cigars, but I really enjoy watching the sport. You'll have to excuse me for that.
Hey, it don't matter what you are, what you do, man, as long as you're watching boxing.
You're on, brother. I love to watch it.
Eddie Chambers said right here, as long as you pay for that pay-per-view, I don't care what you drink or smoke.
You know what, though? I want you to stay healthy so you can keep watching the pay-per-view.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I'll be there, brother. I'll be there. Trust me.
If they let beer in the retirement home, this guy will be there. So, I mean, I was saying, just off the air just a second ago, I was a huge fan of Chris Bird when he was campaigning as a heavyweight. I haven't had a Chris Bird, and I'm not calling you a Chris Bird type fighter, but the type of fighter that chooses skill over insane knockout power. Now, are you going to knock out Sam Peter and Vladimir Klitschko and Nikolai Valov? Possibly not, but you're going to outwork them when you get the chance in there, and you already proved it with Sam Peter. And damn it, I think you're going to prove it in there against one of these Klitschko brothers. And I would choose you to pick to beat Nikolai Valov within 5-6 rounds, because I think his corner would throw a towel in because they don't want their guy getting pounded on by an Eddie Chambers.
Right. And those are the type of things that I think I can bring to the table. And this is all hard work and dedication, and putting in the 1,000 hours that athletes need to really over millions of hours, in my opinion, that athletes need to really put in to become great and champions and the best at what they do. You know what I mean? I'm willing to do that to get a shot at whether it be either of the Klitschko brothers, Valuev, or anybody else who wants to get a title. I just think that I'm going to be prepared for anything, and to also get that title shot.
Well, I think we got it from the lion's mouth right there. Eddie Chambers smacked around Sam Peter. One of the judges had it. Had you what? Eight points ahead. I think it
was 79, 70. Wait, no, I'm sorry.
99, 91.
No, it's 99, 91. I think it was 8.
Yeah, 8 rounds.
You're not a math major.
No, I definitely am not a math major.
No, you had it right. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all.
99, 91. 99, 91. Yeah, that was a little big of a stretch for me. I'm not sure that I had you 8 rounds ahead, but I definitely had you a strong 4 or 5 rounds ahead. This was not all that close of a fight. I think you were absolutely dominant, but I don't know about 8 rounds.
Well, hey, you know what? I can agree with that. You know what I mean? There's some people that will say, I disagree with it. I think he won all the rounds, and that could be. But there are things that he done, and I got to give him credit for, that did make some of those rounds close, and therefore he could snuck out several rounds, not several rounds, but a few rounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here and there. But I just think that was more consistent over the 10 rounds of the fight, and kept my jab in his face, and really didn't let him land anything really sudden or solid that he's really known for, like any big big punches or anything to change the tide at all.
Well, your facial expressions in the ring when he would land a good shot, you let everybody know basically that he did, and you let everybody know as well that you were doing all right after he did land that punch.
Absolutely, that's right. Well, see, sometimes that goes along with professionalism, and I don't want to do that too much. And I don't want to make a mockery of the other guy, even though you're in the ring fighting and you're going at each other, and you're at that point in time it's your worst enemy. We still want to have a better respect for the game, and I do think of that. But it's just sometimes when you're in the heat of the moment, you fight. You know what I mean? It's just things come out that maybe you wouldn't do if you really were thinking of it. You know what I mean? And sometimes that's what happens. You do little things, you make little faces, you shake your shoulders or whatever. Whatever keeps your mind focused on the task at hand, and that's winning and by any means necessary.
Well, it also puts it in the fighter's head that, wow, I just hit him with a good shot and it's not even hurting him.
That also, too. That definitely is probably the main reason of it. But there's no question. I mean, I want people to know that, and sometimes it's proven small points like that really is futile, but at the same time, I think that for me, as a small guy in the division, well-skilled and fast and everything, but small guy, sometimes I got to do a little more to prove that I belong in there with these guys.
Well, Eddie Chambers, we're going to take a real quick break, and we're going to come right back with you. And we've got a few more questions for you. Can you hang out a little bit?
Absolutely, no problem.
Beautiful. Let's take a real quick break. This is your Bolo Punch Boxing Hour, brought to you by George Rogie Insurance. www.bolopunchboxinghour.com. Streaming to you live, as always, on Ustream.tv.
Insurance is a 4-generation insurance